Hey guys, welcome back. I recently asked on Facebook for your questions, and I'm going to start doing little short videos answering those questions on my Facebook page, which I'll link below. And I had an overwhelming amount of the same question. And when I really thought about it, this is the one question I get all the time, and I don't think I've ever actually addressed it. And basically what the question is, asked by a lot of different people, is how do you start getting organized and how do you keep it that way? So it's easy to, organize one area of your home, but it's really hard to stay that way. But I have a secret, and I'm gonna share it with you now, and it's how I transform my home from chaos to clean. I am not a naturally organized person, and I have a tendency to be the biggest messer in my house, believe it or not. My husband makes fun of me all the time because I'm a slob. At heart, I'm a slob, and I don't think even no matter how much organizing I do, I'll ever really change that natural part of me. I'll always be the person that just we'll do it later and put things off. But here is the secret that transformed my home basically, honestly, overnight. And you can do it too, because if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not trying to sound like an infomercial here, but it really is like a life-changing thing. So I'm gonna show you the steps to get organized for good. Okay, so the first step is to tackle your main living areas, and I like to do this starting on a weekend. So a Saturday and Sunday, you make your living area, the main living area you see when you come in your home, and your kitchen as tidy as possible. I'm talking no clutter anywhere. And then that Sunday night, that's when you're gonna start your routine. If your home is already pretty tidy, then you could probably do this any day of the week. But if you're struggling to get on top of things, you and your family will have to probably pitch in because you have to start with a clean slate. Okay, so here comes step two. Step two is your nightly cleaning routine. Now I know I've said this before, but I'm gonna show you some tricks to make it really work. Between the time of you cleaning your house all day and making it beautiful and actually going to bed, the odds are it got a little messy again. So you're gonna wanna quickly pick that up, get it back to perfect, but it's the next day where the magic's gonna come in. The next day is what's going to help keep you organized for good, and that's seeing where your family's issues are. So the next day before you go to bed, you're gonna take a good look around. It's probably going to be a disaster again, but this time you're gonna be able to see exactly what your family's issues are. From the day before where it was super clean before you went to bed, the next day, that's what you're gonna see. And I'm gonna show you how to tackle each of those little issues that are most common in your family's home, starting with kids' toys. So if you've cleaned your home totally crazy clean and the next day before you go to bed you see that there are kids' toys everywhere, you definitely need to address the kids' toys. And a super quick trick to do this so you'll never have a huge problem of kids' toys everywhere again is the one bin rule. So kids rotation is so important when it comes to toys. I wish I could rotate my kids. No. Kids toy rotation is so important when it comes to kids toys. So when they just have too many things that they can play with, it becomes overwhelming. And it's hard for them to pick it up, and they're dumping all their toys out all the time, and things are crazy, super messy. So what I recommend is toy rotation. So pack up like 75% of those kids' toys, leaving them just 1 or 2 bins or 1 bin per kit. It's going to make it so much easier to clean up at the end of the night, and it's gonna make it really fun because you can swap out those bins every day or every couple days or once a week, and they're really gonna feel like they have new toys. Now I'm not talking about in a toy room, like they have a playroom, but here in the living room, we have 1 toy bin for Milo that I rotate constantly for him so they feel like he's got new toys. And it only takes just a minute to pick them up at the end of each day. And it's manageable for even my 3-year-old to do it by himself. So once you've tackled the 1 or a few toy bin in your main living room area, you will never have a toy clutter problem again in your main living space. And if your main living space is the only place your kids have to play, you've got less places to pick up toys. I know it seems drastic and your kids maybe will miss their toys, but you're not getting rid of them. You're just storing them perhaps in another closet or under a bed, a place where you can bring them out and make them new and fresh, but really make it manageable for them to pick up their own toys or for you to have to do it. I promise you, you will never have toy clutter again. Okay, so maybe on your first day you notice that there's a big pile of mail on your counter. This probably means that you're not having a really efficient mail sorting system. I love just having something like this where you can drop in bills to be paid, things you need to look at, things you need to file, right here wherever your pile accumulates. If this isn't something you want to invest in right away, just use a basket and put the basket right there. A basket is a better approach than just having your papers everywhere because it gives you a visual reminder of, oh man, I need to deal with this because the basket is full. Unlike a pile on the counter, which can just grow indefinitely, a basket really contains it, and it's a really important way of just dealing with your papers. I promise you this trick will not only make your kitchen counters look more clutter-free, but it's really gonna motivate you to tackle that paper when it's time to do it. So maybe it's before bed and you're doing your nightly routine and you notice that dishes are the issue. That there's dishes everywhere and you're having a really hard time staying on top of dishes. A really quick tip is to actually come up with a dishwashing schedule, routine, and sticking to it. So for me and my family, I run the dishwasher every single night and I load it and I unload it and reload it every single morning. Now, we have a family of 5, so it's easy to fill up a dishwasher to run it every night. If you're finding that you're a family of 2 or 3 and you're not filling it, then run it every 2 days. But sticking to a schedule is really important. Saying, oh, I could probably wait and put a few more dishes in it and run it the next day is a recipe for disaster. Because then what you end up with is a bunch of dirty dishes that aren't gonna fit in and it's still running and craziness. So running it every night and unloading it every morning is a key to having a dish-free counter. Okay, last but not least, you might find that there's other random things taking over your space, whether it be your dining room table or your kitchen counter. I know for me a big thing was kids coloring and homework was always everywhere at night. So what I did is I turned drawers in my island here that originally had things like aprons and placemats. I relocated them or donated them to create a spot right in my kitchen for a homework center and a coloring center. Now, if you're a big crafter and this is where you do it, or you have like you're doing work and this is where it is, create a spot for it right here in the room. So get a bin, a big box, something, it doesn't really matter, but have a home for that stuff where you're using it, and you'll see that your clutter, which is whatever your issue is, will be no more. If you're finding one of the main issues is you just don't have a spot to put stuff, so you'd love to be able to, put everything away and start from scratch the first time, but you can't because you have no space, hate to break it to you, but you have too much stuff. And I'm not talking about the stuff that's actually out and on the counters, because odds are you're using that stuff all the time. I'm talking in your closets, under your bed, in your kitchen cabinets. There are probably definitely things that you're not using. Clear that stuff out, donate it, get rid of it, and make room for the things that are taking up the space on your counters and all over your kitchen table, because those are the things you're actually using on a day-to-day basis. When I started, I was purging like a garbage bag and a box a day. I took out so much stuff out of my home and I didn't even feel like I had that much, but obviously I did. So living with less obviously is key, but following these steps has really made it so my house kind of takes care of itself. And once I got the main living areas done, I moved on to the bedroom and did the same thing. Got it really, really tidy, and then the next day took a look to see where my issues were, which in my case was clothing storage. So then you move to your bathroom, your kids' rooms, and so on. You're getting the idea, right? Until you can identify your family, your home's real issues and make solutions for it, staying organized is going to be impossible. But once you've got it clean the first time, it's so much easier to really identify those trouble spots, deal with them once, and you'll never have to do it again. Anyways, those are your tips. Good luck. If you have any questions, please go to my Facebook page. I'll put the link below. Ask away. Every week I'm going to be uploading some frequently asked questions, answering type things, so whatever you want to know, ask away. I'm an open book. Anyways, we'll see you next time.